Hello there, and thanks for clicking on the button and checking out this channel. I'm actually in a favourite little location of mine, and it's an orchard, and it's come to the end of the season. The wind has put a lot of the apples on the floor. Insects and wildlife have been taking it. Nobody's going to come here and take any more, so I'm just going to come and fill one bag of apples up for myself. So I'm not actually doing a wild camp, and that's the simple truth of that is the kids have joined a film club on a Friday afternoon, and with the hours drawing short, I'm not going to have time on a Friday afternoon, which I traditionally do my wild camps. I'm going to have to push them into Saturdays, and I do have other commitments on this Saturday coming. So I'm going to enjoy myself here. I'm going to have a fire, have some coffee, enjoy being outdoors, and I'm going to collect some of these apples. So I haven't got my proper boiling vessel with a lid on it, so it's going to take probably twice as long to boil. While that's doing that, I'm going to start picking these apples. And yeah, but the winds that we've got forecast coming in, even though they're going to be light, this will all be on the floor. So that bag of apples will do me the winter, and with the blackberries I've picked, it'll provide me with, I don't know, probably 8 to 10 blackberry and apple crumbles, which will be nice, like to make before I go surfing, so there's a nice hot sweet treat to come home to. Blackberry and apple crumble in the winter is a tradition for me, but having said that, just apple picking in the autumn is everything autumn is about. Now, I probably won't be able to do a wild camp in here for a good few weeks, because quite simply, everywhere you stand in here, because the apples are on the floor, it smells like fermented apples and rotting apples. Quite simply, the wildlife is picking up and taking what they want, but you know, what is left here, the insects are having. And yeah, there's so many apples and windfall that if you was to do a wild camp here, your whole kit would end up smelling of fermenting, rotting apples and apple juice. So it's going to be probably another 4 weeks before I've got to let all the apples come off the trees, the wildlife go through this place, clean it up and take everything, and then I can come back in here and start doing some wild camps in here. I've said it before, it's one of my little favourite places. I know there is road noise because there's a road not too far away, but it is pretty isolated in the fact that nobody's going to stop on this road, and what traffic is going up and down is quite simply work traffic. Yeah, it's really pleasant just whiling away a few moments in here. I'm just going to finish up my coffee, may have another one just to while away the time, but I do have to get back to the workshop. I have a bucket load of wood burning to do. So yeah, let's go. Well, I'm going to finish this, see if I actually need another cup of coffee. Now, I actually have to say something about the tree that was felled at the Sycamore Gap, and it's in Northumberland, and it's on the old Roman Hadrian's Wall, and it's in the dip between two sort of like valleys, and yeah, it's prominent, it's famous, and everybody knows about it and loves it. So me being outdoors and doing what I do on my channel, I occasionally stop at trees along the way that have been there for ages, and they're kind of like landmarks. You become familiar with them, and you actually look to them because they become markers along the way. So to some people, a tree is just a tree, and you know, as far as I'm concerned, everything's precious if it's living, but some trees just stand out above and beyond other trees, and this tree that was felled where it's looking like it was done illegally was an act of out and out, well, sabotage to the countryside, and a lot of people, you know, are quite upset or angry about it, and I understand it. There's a tree near me called the Darleyford oak tree. I've seen it in pictures, but it's well into private land, so you can't really fully get to go and appreciate it. But it's over 1,000 years, and just knowing that tree is there nearby is pretty special. And some of the acorns and saplings that have been raised from it have been planted elsewhere in the parish. So it's not only the parish, those acorns have been, I think, even down so far as Truro and places like that, because this tree is so ancient, 1,000 years old. And you've got to think about what it's seen of the British history and what's gone on. What's actually happened in this country. So it is blatantly obvious that some people don't think of or treat the countryside, you know, with the respect it deserves, and how some of us, or a lot of us, feel about it. And that's quite heartbreaking. So yeah, tread lightly, minimise your impact in nature and around it, and always leave it for the people coming behind you, as the people in front of you have left it for you. We're only here for a finite period of time. It's not about use and abuse and leave it for somebody else to pick up the pieces or worry about it. And yeah, a lot of people are feeling pretty gutted and sickened by what's happened there. I think there's still a lot more to come out about that story, but you know, in any case, a tree has been felled that didn't need to be felled, shouldn't have been felled. It's famous, you know, it's a landmark, and it's part of the history of Northern England. So it's autumn coming into winter, and just having a very quick reflection on what we've done through the spring and summer. We've done a lot of wild camping, a bit of hiking, crafting. I've taken you along on a couple set pieces I wanted to do, which was that farm on the high moors, wild camping. I've just taken you back to that woodland I wanted to take you guys, which I did as a child. All my outdoor activities, wild camping and bushcrafting, hunting and everything. So I've got that tick in the box. What's coming up? Well, I've still got that valley I want to do from one end to the other. Quite simply, it's going to be a lot of bushwhacking. It's going to be arduous. I'm trying to pick the best conditions, not too hot, not too wet. So that's still to do. I want to get that done this year. But I also have the coast. There's a few locations I want to do some wild camping down there. Obviously, I'll be bringing you guys along to document it, not just for yourselves. So I document it for myself so that I can look back for future reference. And on top of that, I've got to say it, after finding that witch's house, roundhouse, I've got to do a wild camp there. I really have. I can't let that go. And I'm just waiting for it to get a little bit colder to do that one. But yeah, that one's on the cards as well. Well, I'm possibly going to touch a little bit more on folklore, myth and legend. And I've got a few hikes that, there's one hike on the coast that I said I wanted to do. I haven't done it yet, but you guys will be coming along with me on that. So possibly a bit more hiking as well. And it's I feel we're beginning to get my channel to the point you can get a feeling or a sense of feeling I'm trying to purvey of the outdoors, the environment of where I'm living to here in North Cornwall. And yeah, you can kind of get a feel for how I'm living my life and what I'm doing here. And it was kind of, like I keep saying, it's as much a documentary for myself to look back on and the kids as much as what I'm publishing it for other people to see. Well guys, I've picked my crop of apples. I'm going to get them skinned and put into the freezer this weekend. And doesn't that just say autumn? Picking apples this time of year, you're at the beginning of autumn and you're going into winter. You know it's happening now. Well, it's time for me to go home now. I've got to hit the workshop and get doing some wood burning. But we've had our apple harvest and we've done it in the early autumn sun. It's beginning to sink over the trees and that signifies the end of the day for me now. I've packed up, so I'm going to head off home. Thanks for coming along. This is Andy from Hidden Valley Footpaths. Take care, stay safe, and I hope to catch you guys out on the trail.